What's up guys, it's your boy Hima. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. So in this video I'm going to talk about Cardano. We're going to look at the Cardano versus dollar price, and then we're going to look into the Cardano versus Bitcoin price and see what's going on in the markets. Alright, so I'm looking at the charts right now, and we are looking at the first chart, which is Cardano versus the dollar. Today we had a minor setback. I don't know what happened because Bitcoin dropped down to about $58,000 from 60 low 60s, and I think we are having the same effect in all coins. So as you can see, we are at 1.9 US dollars. Cardano was actually kind of consolidating since September, to be honest. We had a huge crash and then we were just going back and forth like this. Although, let me get my spotlight tool. Alright, so you can see the consolidation over here, and we broke that trend today because Bitcoin went down, and right now we are touching the 200 moving day average line. Alright, the volume is kind of looking mellowish, like mundane. It's not, for me, this kind of volume is kind of dangerous because all I'm seeing is retail volume. Now this is institutional volume, so we need more institutional money pumping into Cardano. Now Cardano is a really good asset, so for those who were trading it today, I'm pretty sure you had some losses. But going forward, what I want to show you guys is this thing. Alright, now we have a massive support area over here, all right, at this 1.5 level, and of course I'd say this one. Now, what is support, what is resistance? Now, as you can see, for months from February, I'm being pretty much the beginning of this year to August. From February to August, Cardano was going sideways. It was actually bouncing back and forth. It was consolidating in this range. This range is $0.9 to 0.15. Right, as you can see, we come here, hit this high, goes down, we come back up again, hit the resistance, goes back down, comes up again, goes back down, and every time it goes down, it stays in this 90 cents level, and when it goes up, it usually, on an average, it stays up in this 0.5%. And this August, we broke that trend, we went back up, and we also passed the previous all-time high, and now we came back down again consolidating. Now what I'm seeing is a pattern. All right, if Bitcoin comes down, that means more money will pump into altcoins, hopefully into ADA. And if it does, like I told you, ADA is not finished. This is a resistance, all right, and we have previous resistance becomes later support. So this is the support line, and we are kind of playing in between this line. But I think if the altcoin season starts, Cardano will go up. By how much, I'm not sure, but Cardano will at least go up to $4-5. Alright, and as you can see, we are following a nice little trend. Don't worry about it, it's currently at the low, and I think it'll go up. So that's the best case scenario. If everything goes according to the plan, if money started pumping out to all coins from Bitcoin, Cardano, because like this whole scenario to me, Cardano is like it's preparing for something big. You saw it over here, consolidated for months, broke about that level, came back down. Now we are resting, went back down a little bit. That's fine, don't worry about it. I think we'll go in this range for a certain period of time, and when Bitcoin comes down, Cardano, I think, will show up to the sky. Now that's the best case scenario. The worst case scenario in my head, I want, if Cardano for some reason breaks down this $1.5 mark and comes down, still it's in good hands. As you can see, where we see a lot of support over here. This entire range is support, but if it breaks down this level, this 0.9, this 90 cent level, then that's gonna be bad. That means someone is massively selling Cardano. So that's the worst case scenario. I do not think that Cardano, even if it comes down, will go below this 0.9 cent mark, because Cardano is actually, in my opinion, is an undervalued project. Undervalued meaning that we need more money pumping into Cardano, just like Solana and Ethereum, but it's not happening because I don't think people truly identifies Cardano's potential and the role that it's playing in African countries and third world countries, and what it can potentially hold for the future. So I talk about the best case scenario and the worst case scenario. Now let's look at the Bitcoin versus Cardano value, because I think that's also really important. Okay, again the same thing. The chart looks a bit different, but what I want to show you guys is this. Most people, when they look at charts, they only look at the dollar value, but you have to look at the Bitcoin value, because Bitcoin is the main denominator. And if a certain asset is actually maintaining its value against Bitcoin, that means that asset is a strong asset. And Cardano, from the looks of it, looks like it's been holding its value against Bitcoin pretty good. If you can see, from May to October, this entire movement is just like going sideways. As you can see, it's like a range. It's just not going too far up or too far down. It's just, if you had bought over here after May, June, July, August and October, after like 5 months, your value would still be the same, which is not a bad thing necessarily. What I want to see is, I want to see Cardano go up against this all-time high and then say, you know what, now the Cardano value against Bitcoin is strong. Right now it's looking a bit weak, but not weaker. Alright, I think it's holding pretty good against Bitcoin, which is the most important thing. And as you can see, in February 2021, this year, we had this peak and we came back down to it. I'll draw a line. We came back down to it and went back up, and we are right now again at that same level. So I think against the Bitcoin value, Cardano is doing well, but I'm not truly satisfied with how it's holding up against Bitcoin, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. Now, if we are to go up against Bitcoin, let's talk about the best case scenario and the worst case scenario. For me, I want to see the Bitcoin value, Cardano against the Bitcoin value, goes up against this 0.00005 level. This is a resistance level, and if we break above that, okay, that's the best case scenario. And furthermore, if we break above this level, that's also a really bullish case for Cardano. But that's the best case scenario. But for this to happen, we need some sort of whale money, institutional money flowing into Cardano, and some retail money from Bitcoin flowing into all coins, including Cardano. And if the value is going up against Bitcoin, that means that's a green light. That's the best case scenario. Now, if the worst case scenario is what you need to worry about, most importantly, if it goes up again, that's good. If it's green all the time, everybody's happy, that's good. But for me, when I do things, I always worry about the worst case scenario, and I'm prepared for it. Whether it's the US dollar value or the Bitcoin value, if Cardano goes through the worst case scenario period, that's when you have to be careful. But hear me out, that's also when you should be buying Cardano. Now, as for Bitcoin, the worst case scenario, if we broke below this level, all right, this is a really major support level. If we broke below this level against the Bitcoin, that means you have to be kind of ready. If you have already margin calls and whatnot, if you're leveraging, you gotta be very careful. This is when you should exit when we broke this level. I'd put a stop loss somewhere around here or here, because that's really the end game. But if you're not trading this, if you're carefully watching this, if we go below this level, which is the worst case scenario, that's when you should buy it. That's when you should buy it. Alright guys, so that's it for today's video about Cardano. I hope you learned something. I'll see you guys in another video. Until then, happy trading.